What's up, YouTube? I must have struck a little nerve out here in the dealership environment about these warranty engines. Like, comments I'm getting are the warranty company's not paying for new, they're just paying to fix the problem. I agree. That's where you, as the professional, and your service writer and your service manager have to talk to your customer and say, your car has 100,000 miles on it. We understand that this engine has an oil consumption problem, and we're going to take care of the oil consumption problem. But everything else that's bad on your engine is going to require money out of your pocket to maintain it. And then when the customer goes, oh, well, what do you mean? And then when you pull up the VIN number and you say, well, the car's never had a trans service, it's never had an air filter or a GDI or spark plugs or a cabin air filter, and on and on and on. And you say, this is maintenance items that's on you, on your dime. We're going to take care of some of this engine work here. And Mr. Customer, you're not getting a complete engine. It's not coming out of a box with every new part on your car. We're going to be putting old parts back on your car that are technically still good right now, but they're old. We are putting in new parts to fix your oil consumption problem or your connecting rod that blew out the side of the motor. This isn't putting new camshafts in and new lifters and all this stuff. Customers should be aware of this. And you say, okay, well, why the engine's out, Mr. Customer? You know that we can make this like new for you for X amount of money, and here's what that would entail. You skipped your 80K, you skipped your 150K, whatever it is. The diffs haven't been serviced, the hoses are, soaked in oil from your engine, leaking oil all over the place, your belts are shot. This is all costs that come to you. And then the guy in the service bay would have less of a chance having a red tag vehicle come back for him for a problem. I've heard stories where people went to pick the car up, drove it down the street, and the engine light came right back on. That could be because the catalytic converter is now bad because it's been pumping quarts of oil through the system forever. Anything can happen. That's anything can happen. But not advising the customer on what it's going to take to make the engine like new, right? So the technician's going to evaluate this vehicle if it's not seized or doesn't have rods hanging out the side of it. And he's going to say, okay, I need a short block, I need a long block, whatever the case may be. Then he's going to take things apart and say, oh, well, this coil's bad, the spark plugs are bad, this PCV system's clogged, this hose is bad. And you're going to say, Mr. Customer, hey, this stuff is all bad, it's not covered, we can't do the job right, you're going to have to come out of pocket on this. We're not paying for a whole new engine for your car. Now, I know there are some places that are supplying an entire crate engine. Crate engine means it's coming in a crate, and I'm going to use fully dressed, meaning it has accessories on it, the belts are on it, everything's on there. Typically, you might have to add the air compressor, AC compressor, or power steering pump, or something like that. But a dressed engine usually means it comes with everything, intake manifolds, on and on and on. So this Kia engine that's been burning oil for, I'm going to say, at least since 60,000 miles, right? That's 40,000 miles of crap going inside the intake manifold as well. In most cases, you can't clean them, but you can try. It really should get a new intake manifold too. They're not metal, they're plastic. They're not aluminum or steel anymore. They're mostly plastic, which is a polymer. So very difficult to repair or clean, therefore needing replacement. Hey, Mr. Customer, a throttle body is covered in gook and yuck. It's not the technicians not getting paid to do that. It's a simple $50 or more charge or whatever they want to charge to clean the throttle body while the engine's apart. The engine's already apart. New spark plugs, new coil boots, new coils. The engine's already apart. There is really no additional labor time when the engine is out of the car and torn down to nothing. You need some new parts, Mr. Customer. Most people would rather want to know that, hey, the dealer is basically putting a new engine in, but not exactly. But how can I get closer to that new engine that they don't cover the specific stuff that I've been neglecting or I wasn't aware of prior to this happening? most people will come out of pocket, especially when they're not paying anything. In most cases, if you told someone and it was an extra $500 to fix all the bad shit that they let go on their engine job, I'm sure they'd be very thrilled to know that peace of mind is saying, I'm going to have less of a problem. I'm going to get better gas mileage. I'm not going to have to come back to the shop and say, why is my car doing this after you've had it for a week or a month or 2 months or however long it takes for these guys to do it. And have an overall better job and experience for the customer. Nothing rubs me rubs me worse when I see that. So it's really not that money. It's really not that expensive. It's really not that expensive. And to do a good engine job, right? Think about this. You'd have to have good spark plugs. Like, how much do spark plugs cost if the engine's already apart to put in on a 4-cylinder? $50 extra, maybe $60 extra. An air filter, 30. Like, we're not talking big numbers here. So, yeah, I understand that the manufacturers and the dealerships and aftermarket warranty companies aren't paying for certain things, but this is where you talk to the customer and say, hey, this is your responsibility. I deal with aftermarket warranties, and I say, the warranty company is only paying for X, Y, and Z, and you're responsible for this. And typically it's $100. But if there's a bunch of other things that they're not covering, or they're not covering the cost of all the additional parts and labor, I tell the customer, hey, they're picking up $800 or picking up $1,500. You still need $800 worth of work to make this job right. We ain't doing the job. We're not doing the job unless you're doing this other work that goes along with it. And that's that. You lose a job, you win a job. If the customer is not interested in making the end product right, why would you even want to get involved? I don't. As soon as the customer starts telling me how to fix their car, conversation's over. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. So I get what's going on. What I don't understand is the lack of communication between the customer and what's going on. And sometimes you need to be a little technical for certain. If your customer's coming in for cabin air filter and an air filter, and the intake boot's cracked or something like that, it's simple. It's simple conversation. But when you're doing open heart surgery on their car, you definitely need to communicate, hey, you're not getting a brand new engine here. You're getting, say, 60% of a new engine. We're going to be reusing a lot of your old parts that are mechanically good, but then you have a lot of other things that need to be serviced and replaced and maintained from lack of not doing it. And most people would be happy to hear that it's closer to new for a few hundred or 1,000 or whatever they find wrong. Maybe the AC compressor clutch is shot and there's no charge in it or something like that. I mean, there's opportunity there, and the front end's falling out in the brakes. There's opportunity, and also the recalls. I mean, even though you're already working for almost free anyway as a dealer technician for warranty and comeback work and recalls and all kinds of stuff. So what's the difference if you're getting some cash work out of them too? I mean, that would be a bonus. Like, you're getting a brake job, or you're getting an AC compressor job, or a serpentine belt tensioner shot. I mean, there's opportunity there. Somebody let me know. Thanks for watching.